Okay, right. Let's talk about Troy, Illinois. There's let me just read this from you. An employee of power management firm Eaton Corporation's Troy, Illinois facility has just filed federal charges against the International Association of Machinists Union for violating the rights of multiple employees at his workplace. Now, these people were being fined and being punished for opposing the union.
Yeah, that's right, Vic. This is unfortunately all too common story. So what happened back in October, there was a strike, and our client, Mr. Jacobs, he basically resigned his union membership. He did exactly what he had to do in order to continue working. He wanted to keep on the job. He wanted to stay working. And so, at the end of all that, the union sends him a letter and saying, oh, by the way, we're going to charge you $306 as a reinstatement fee. Now, the reinstatement fee would probably be appropriate if he decided he wanted to join the union again and go back to, being a member of the union, but he didn't want to do that. He had no interest in doing that. And then shortly after this letter came out, he got another letter that said, if you do not pay the $306, we will request the employer fire you. And under Illinois law and under Missouri law, under federal law that is imposed on Illinois and Missouri, Mr. Jacobs could be fired for not tendering that $306 according to the union. We're going to win this case, Vic. We're going to win it because what they're doing is illegal and they know it. But the problem is they do this, and if workers don't know their rights and aren't informed about what they have available to them when it comes to a Supreme Court case that we won back in 1988 called Beck versus Communication Workers of America, that basically says you can resign union membership, get reduced fees, and you can't be compelled under union discipline to pay $306 in order to keep your job.
All right. So this is such a turnaround, right? This is a 180 on what we've known and thought about all our lives. Unions are supposed to support workers, but if they don't pay the union dues, the unions keep people from getting fired. They're going to get this guy fired because he doesn't pay the union dues, which makes us, what's the real thing going on here? It's not about the worker. It's about the money.
Indeed it is. And that becomes more evident all the time, Vic, as we see these cases. And literally we've got, I think we've got about 200 between 225 and 250 active cases right now on behalf of employees, oftentimes against employers and unions, who employers violate employee rights too, as it relates to their workplace rights. And it's just an ongoing battle. And the question is getting to some kind of scale where workers know what their rights are in the workplace. The best way to solve that problem is to say, like they have in 26 states across the country, that no worker can be fired to pay dues or fees in order to get or keep a job. They can join a union. They can pay all their money to the union if they want to. They can associate with unions. They can do whatever they want, but they can't lose their jobs if they don't pay. And that question is still pregnant in Missouri. It's certainly pregnant in Illinois, and unfortunately, it's pregnant here in the United States Congress as they reconvene up here.
The employee's name is Robert Jacobs, and so where is this case, this trial? Where are we at right now?
Well, we filed it with the NLRB. It's pretty clear. We think what will happen, and basically what happens is once it becomes public, once there's a press release, once we talk about it on the Vic Porcelli show, the union tends to back off because they know they're not right here. And the question is, how long will it take them? We're going to get a new National Labor Relations Board under the incoming administration. Hopefully, President-elect Trump, I guess soon to be President Trump, will do what Joe Biden did within the first 20 minutes of his presidency, and that was fire the general counsel of the National Labor Relations Board. Biden did it. It was the first time it's ever happened in the history of our labor policy going back to the 1930s. Biden was so adamant about getting union power expanded from day one, he fired a general counsel of an independent agency who had 10 or 11 months left on their term. We think Trump will do the same thing, firing the one that Joe Biden nominated, and we'll get a National Labor Relations Board that will once again consider employee rights instead of big business or big labor's power.
That's great, right? That's a step forward.
Good news, hopefully. Yep, we're waiting for it.
So, okay, I just wanted to make fun of Joe Biden here real quick because when he was campaigning in 2020, he said, I'm going to create good-paying union jobs. And then the first thing he does is shut down through executive order, shut down the XL pipeline, no more drilling in Anmore, no fracking, taking away good-paying union jobs. I mean, even the guys that are for unions don't know how to do it the right way.
Yeah, the Keystone Pipeline was a really interesting case study. That was what's called a project labor agreement, meaning that everybody who was working on the project had to have a union card in their wallet or be represented by a union. So, yeah, hypocrisy is so deep. Vic, you know it. You heard it from your city council guy before this interview, and, you know, it's over the top. And I think Americans are getting tired of it. I think that was a reflection of what happened in November. Americans are waking up to it. They're getting tired of it. And hopefully, and hope remains something we need to continue to have, is that our Congress, our United States Congress, will get it right. The legislature in Jeff City will get it right, and they will stand up for individual freedom and liberty, because that's what this is all about. It's not about the money. It shouldn't be about the money. It shouldn't be about the power and the exercise thereof. It should be about this grand experiment in self-government that includes standing up for liberty and freedom of our individual citizens.
Right. Mark, listen, this case, if you're going to be at it, and it's near here, come by and pay us a visit one time, okay?
No kidding.